Hey, I think I got a real impactful show for y'all today. The title is Most Impactful Debut. Debut albums in hip hop. Before I get into the conversation and the discussion though, I ain't gonna rank these albums on the show. I'm gonna do it in the comment section. And I want y'all to participate in the comment section also. What is the most impactful debuts albums from any artist that you can think of? Who had the biggest, who had the best debut album to y'all? And I'm gonna give y'all mine in the order that I think they should go in the comment section. So let's get to it. This is the first one.
I swear I do. GLC feel you, yeah. I feel you, man.
I've been working this grave shift and I ain't made shit. I wish I could buy me a spaceship and fly.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
When Ye dropped his first album, it was a shift in hip hop from gangster rap, crunk rap, and all of that type of stuff in the South to like backpack, emo, high production, just be yourself type music. That created the lane for the Wale's, the Big Sean's, the Wiz Khalifa's, the Drake's, the J. Cole's, the Tyler, the Creators. That album right there created the lane for all of the type of music that y'all like nowadays to have a place, a space in the culture. And that was a big album to me. Like the second one, remember he outsold 50? He outsold 50 on his second one. I think 50's album that went up against his was Curtis. But yay, that's a real impactful debut to a stellar career to me. Let's get into number 2 though.
This motherfucker, my name is Tada. Y'all niggas know who I am. Y'all niggas tearing up shit. But we got something old and something new for y'all tonight. Put your hand together for Snoop Dogg and Dogg, the Dog Pound, and the Fabulous Dramatics.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was real young when that dropped, but I'm gonna give y'all a quick story before I go to the next album. One day we had a black school bus driver. One day coming home from school, right? I was in the 8th grade. That was my last year of middle school. And the school bus driver put the radio on and that was playing. Every kid on the school bus knew nothing but a G thing, baby. Two low out G's going crazy. Word for word. 12, 13-year-olds on the school bus. We knew that song word for word. And that was our introduction to West Coast music. Like Snoop Dogg was fly, he was fresh, he was a gangbanger, he was all of the above. He could really rap, he was smoking weed, he had a little style to him, like great production. That was really my introduction to the West Coast in its totality. Because you had artists like Too Short in the Bay, he was talking about pimping and stuff. You had E40 with the wordplay, you had MC8 with the gangster stuff, Spice One with the Shoot 'em Up Bang Bang records, but it seemed like Snoop Dogg brought the whole thing together in a cohesive manner, and that was our introduction to the West Coast. Real talk. And these ain't in no order, but this is another one too, though.
Yes, sir. Let me dig into your brain. Folks falling like rain. Probably got me selling things. Guess I'm gonna explain.
Tell y'all something. Ballin' G drop coming out hard. It was a nice debut album. UGK drop Too Hard to Swallow. It was a nice debut album. There's a couple of more individuals that was dropping in the South, but the Outkast was different. Just my opinion. I was lying to my mama talking about that was me and one of my homeboys. It was so dope. That Southern Playalistic, that production from the Dudgeon family, the Funky Ride song where it's just an instrumental with Sleepy Brown singing on it, crazy. The introduction to Goody Mob, crazy. Like, to me, that's Outkast's best album still. Like the other ones was great. They did numbers and all of that. But I can't play the records with Sawyer Miss Jackson and Hey Ya and all of that back to front like I can play Southern Playalistic. That's more my flavor. So that album had to get up in there, and then get up in there. Ooh, pause. That was too much. Uh Real talk, that was a little extra. But Outkast, that was just a dope album, man. That's all I gotta say. Let's get into the next one though.
Yo. Tell 'em, oh, it's like, you know, sweet, sweet.
It's Reverend Jackson Podcast.
I don't think another female artist dropped a doper album still. She's still touring off that album. She's still getting features and doing shows and songs from that album. It has won so many awards, not just because of the accolades, but the quality of music. It was stellar. She was singing and rapping. Some people say that that's not hip hop, but I would say that that's cap, because she was spitting on that thing, man, and singing. Like that's a talent. You can't just take her hip hop credentials away from her because she was singing on a few records. In my opinion, I think that shows more skill. And salute to Lauryn Hill, man. She might be crazy to some people, but her music is dope, and I would be thankful if she dropped another album, man. But to say she have to is selfish. Let's get into the next one, though. One of my favorites, Real Spill.
Well, not 6 and forever. Rock a block, Rockefeller.
Jay-Z, he be a little hectic on us content creators when it comes to playing his music. That's why I only gave 10 seconds. I hope that this video is still monetizable, or even if they allow me to put it up, and I don't have to just put it as a Spotify exclusive. If you're a fan of the podcast here on the YouTube channel, I also, like, sometimes when I can't upload certain pieces of content to YouTube because copyright strikes and non-monetizable content, y'all need to go over to Spotify, because Spotify allowed me to put up the visual of certain content that I wouldn't be allowed to on YouTube. But Reasonable Doubt, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, when it dropped, I was listening to Pac, 3-6, Mafia. What else was I listening to in 96? It was a lot of different music. But I remember everybody talking about this guy named Jay-Z. This type of music, this is grown man music, something to listen to in your ride or your Benz or whatever. I was young when it dropped. But life started changing for me, and I started listening to it. And it hit later on, like a year and a half later, it hit, and it was dope to me. It was real dope. And I kept listening to it. I was like, dang, this is dope. Why I didn't hear it at the beginning? And I guess it was because he was an independent or whatever. He was not promoted like that. But I think I started hearing more about Jay-Z after the Jermaine Dupri record. For real. I don't know when that was released, but I started hearing more of Jay-Z around that time. More money, something about money. I forgot what the name of the record was. But to me, this is the biggest debut of all time, the most successful of all time, and one of the best albums of all time.
Step upon me, blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, and niggas trying to take my life away.
When 50 dropped that, New York changed. It seemed like a lot of rappers went in their shell. They went and hid. You couldn't hear from a lot of artists no more. Like, it wasn't nobody but G-Unit and the Dipset. How I know that album was like one of the biggest debuts and the most like successful debut album is because think about the people that went platinum that wouldn't have even been known on their own. Like Lloyd Banks is a great rapper, but without 50 Cent, he wouldn't have went 3-4 times platinum. Young Buck album is a classic in Tennessee. That Cashville album, it's a classic. Man, that album would have went triple wood without 50 Cent. For real, we wouldn't have never heard it. It wouldn't have had that level of production, but it existed. But it's a dope album. But no, Tony Yayo, come on now. He wasn't even a rapper, and he went platinum. So how he capitalized off of that album and the success it had, I think it did 10 or 12 million, and he's still touring to this day doing songs off of that album. How he set the game up also for a successful career. Get Rich or Die Trying, a movie was created out of it, and another dope soundtrack was created out of that movie. I mean, out of that debut album. It just was a dope album. But my last one before I get into my honorable mentions, y'all know it got to be the boy.
The world is yours. The world is yours. I sip the Don P, watching Gandhi till I'm charged.
Right, and then my book of rhymes, Nas, man. To be honest with y'all, when I first heard Nas, I was a young boy. I think that album dropped in 94. I was like 14. And I wasn't too fond of New York hip hop like that. Even though that's probably my introduction to New York hip hop, but it was more the commercial stuff, the Run DMCs, the LL Cool J's, the Big Daddy Kane's, and what's my boy? It's only you got what I need, but you say she's just a friend. That's what I was listening to. So when I heard Nas, it was more of like the homeboy from around the corner that sees the same things that I see on the block, but he know how to put it in words and put it together and make his words seem like a visual. So Nas was the one. He was that boy, and he's still doing his thing, man. 50 years old. When that dropped, 94? It's 2024. That's 30 years later, man. 30 years later, the boy's still putting in work, dropping heat. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man, and I'm going to give y'all a couple of honorable mentions. Like The Brat. I was going to mention The Brat, So Functified. That album was the first album of a female going platinum of all time. First platinum album by a female. And it had some dope records on there, man. Notorious Big. The Wu-Tang. Their debut album was fire. Dr. Dre. The Chronic. Y'all probably like, man, you sleep. Why they didn't make the list? That just was not my time. And I want to say something to the young folks because they probably like, you only naming these old niggas, man. Why you ain't naming none of the new cats? I don't think people care about albums no more. Like people making a cohesive project that makes sense. Folks are making like singles now. Just one record to sell the album. Nobody's making cohesive projects. If I had to say a young boy who dropped a classic album in the last 10 years, debut album, golly, it's tough. It might be longer than 10 years, but I would say Chief Keef. That's the last album that was a front to backer for a young artist. I don't know. No, y'all give me one of the young artists in the comment section that dropped one that I could play all the way through, and I'll check it out, man. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in, though, man, for every show, every subscriber. Thank y'all, man. I'm going to have to do something for my subscribers coming soon, too, man. I might have to. What y'all want, man? Y'all want me to put y'all on the show? Send y'all a gift card so you can take your lady out to eat or something? You know what I mean? Pay for tickets to the movies or whatever. I could pay for y'all some tickets to the movies or just something nice, man. Send y'all a piece of the merch. I could send y'all a piece of the merch. Y'all know I like to read and review books and stuff, man. If you want me to purchase you a book on Audible or something, man, I'm gonna have to do something. Y'all tell me in the comment section what should I do. I ain't getting ready to do nothing extravagant yet, but I want to do something for the subscribers, man. I appreciate y'all. Real talk. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money. And I'm gone. Chill.
Niggas didn't want me to blow. It was all a dream for sure. Now I'm up and not looking back. Did the racks, now it's deposits. Life is good when you have options. Niggas cap, never been popping. The diamonds ain't real, player, just stop it. All we do is the VV. Shine so bright the lanes can't see me. Been notorious, no biggie, did the Louis. Now I'm in Poochie, yo chick a groupie. Act unruly, niggas goofy, always moody. I'm a dog, call me Scooby. To this game, you niggas newbies. At Benny's, I just want sushi. Left the streets when shit got spooky. Kept it real, that was my duty. My team keep Drake's, I told the Uzi. Director of my own movie. Make sure the business runs smoothly. Yours truly been evolved. Beef I had won't be resolved. Like Jordan 2-3 used to be the price of a key. Street dreams, I did that looking back, and I'm still that real nigga. That's too official. We peep that y'all artificial. The affiliation ain't beneficial. The case ended in a dismissal. You did the double, I got the triple. Kept my head on the fucking swivel. When I left, shit was crippled. Never been a man in the middle. My life ain't superficial. The streets hot, I made it sizzle. You claim you real, that made me giggle. You niggas paper, way too little. I'm Kyrie, the way I dribble in and out the lane, sip the champagne. Campaign and the team strong. Money talk, that's my theme song. The plug never try to prolong. Every day I got it gone. I'm a sorta, you a walk on. And that lame shit, it gets stepped on.
But I like being by myself. Like I like peace and quiet. I like it's like I'm a loner, bro. I do better and come up with shit better, and I make money, do a lot of shit. Yeah, I do everything better, bro, just being by myself. You know what I mean? Like, and that shit kind of like a problem. Like, I hate that shit. Like, bro, why you by yourself? Why you by yourself? Like, I just don't like being around a lot of people.